I used to complain of being tired and I couldn't keep up with my friends. My joints were always swollen, so my mom always knew that there was something not quite right. I was also riding horses fairly competitively at that time, so a lot of doctors thought it was just the sport, it was just the pressure of competing.
What really, I think, made it very dramatic to her mother and I was the fact that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, after having ridden for a few hours, she was exhausted. And for someone who's 10 or 11, that's just abnormal.
When I was 15, I became really, really ill. Was it lupus? Was it lymphomic cancer? So my symptoms kind of just exploded.
As a parent, you're really worried about what's going on and the fact that no one can give you any kind of a definitive answer as to what's causing this.
All I wanted to do was just to feel better.
On the one hand, you're trying to keep up a very brave front. You still want her to have fun. You don't want her to stop doing things.
I finally was diagnosed with something. It had a name, and I could, identify what it is. I could look it up. I could research what this disease that I had was.
We were trying to manage the symptoms and trying to really help her have as normal life as she possibly could.
Kathy wasn't alone. Her grandmother had been living with lupus for years, and they would soon discover that another family member had the disease.
My mom wasn't diagnosed until after I was. She was always tired, was always sick, and it wasn't until I encouraged her to go see my rheumatologist that she was finally diagnosed.
So it went from obviously grandmother to mother to daughter.
After she passed away, because it was so sudden and so unexpected, it was like my world collapsed because she was my best friend.
If you have any family member who is not doing well or suffering, you want to do your best for them. You want to protect them. You want to go out of your way to try and make things easier for them.
I have no idea if tomorrow when I wake up it's going to be a really bad day, and that day is just shot from writing papers or studying. So every hour of every day that I feel well is used very carefully. I've always said that lupus doesn't dictate my life, but I think I've come to the realization that it has always dictated my life since I was diagnosed, but in a good way, because it's made me try harder for things. It's made me do things that maybe I wouldn't do.
From crisis intervention, doctor referrals and support groups, to educational materials, entitlement assistance, and emergency grants, the Foundation's programs and support services have helped countless patients and their families cope with lupus.
I have learned so much from the Lupus Support Group.
They helped me so much to understand what I was going through and that I wasn't alone.
When you get scared at night, to know that you could pick up the phone and call someone from the Lupus Support Group to tell them your fears, to tell them what's bothering you.
I can't control what's going on around me, but I can control how I react to it.
I want to know why my big toe feels funny. I want to know why my fingers turn blue. I want to know that, and I wouldn't have known that unless I came to the support group, and I wouldn't be this strong. I would not be this strong without them.
I decided to run a marathon because I wanted to have an accomplishment.
She's very focused. She's very disciplined. I'm very proud of her.
Heard at SLE, Lupus Foundation, had slots for the New York City Marathon, so I applied for one of those slots, and I ran my first half marathon at the end of July. I started having some kidney issues.
Kathy kept training, but the pain just got worse. Lupus had taken its toll. Her kidneys were just too frail. She was advised not to run long distances. She wouldn't be running the New York City Marathon.
I'm sure she's just, crushed on the one hand. On the other, it's one of those reminders of what lupus does to you.
I don't know anybody that's running, but I'll be there cheering everybody on.
For the first time, 25 Lupus charity team runners competed in the marathon, wearing orange loop-designed jerseys, the universal symbol for lupus awareness. The Loop was created a decade ago and continues to be supported by the work of ad agency Saatchi & Saatchi. The more than $100,000 raised by the Lupus charity team runners will fund groundbreaking novel research through the Foundation's national partner, the Lupus Research Institute, which supports new science to prevent, treat, and cure lupus.
They're bringing more scientists into the fold They're getting more scientists on board to thinking about lupus and to focus their intellect on helping solve the problem. They support good ideas that may be high risk but that have high reward. We're studying molecules that white blood cells normally make to help fight infection, but that in diseases like lupus, this molecule is made at the wrong times. And so we're trying to figure out why that is, and in so doing, perhaps come up with a new way to treat the disease.
Human Genome Science's mission is to apply great science and great medicine to bring innovative drugs to patients with unmet medical needs. That innovation and scientific rigor has paid off with the first drug designed to treat lupus.
What we've done in our clinical trials has been to add Benlysta to the standard of care, and it has had some significant improvement in disease activity, reduction of flares, improvement of quality of life.
I think what we've shown with Benlysta is that yes, we can find an important new target to develop a drug, and we can control the study of clinical research in lupus in a way that we can actually see beneficial effects.
On November 2nd, Human Genome Sciences announced that Benlysta had successfully completed its final round of testing. It's now headed to the FDA for approval, and HGS hopes to have Benlysta on the market by the end of 2010.
Many people said it couldn't be done, and when I saw the results, I literally cried for joy.
If you're a physician and a scientist, that's about as good as it gets.
The disease now does not seem impossible to defeat.
We've opened the door, and I hope we're not the last ones to walk through it.
I just want to live a normal life. I want to be able to do all the things that I want to do without also having lupus kind of looming over my head.
To know that somehow your work can affect people, I mean, that's profound, and that really helps inspire us and help move the work forward.
We can live with lupus, we can work with lupus, but we need your help.